If you like stories about animals or stories about space, if you like reading stories, then you've come to the right place. So sit back and relax, my friend. Are you ready? Let's go! It's time for story time with our good friend Officer Joe. It's story time. It's story time. It's time for story time with our good friend Officer Joe. Officer Joe.
Hey there, friends. How are you? My name is Officer Joe, and I'd like to welcome you to Officer Joe's Story Time. I hope you all had a great holiday season while Mr. Al and I spent some time with our families. So before we get started, make sure you hit that big red button down there that says subscribe. That way, you'll be able to see all the videos that Mr. Al and I post. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to my good friend, What's wrong, Officer Joe? What happened to your face? What do you mean, what happened to my Oh, I'm sorry, Officer Joe. Officer Joe, I actually had to shave my beard. Well, why'd you have to shave your beard? Well, friends, I am part of a group called the Philadelphia Mummers, and every New Year's Day, which is January 1st, the first day of the year, we have a big parade down in Philadelphia. Oh, a big parade! I love parades! Oh, me too. I've been doing the Mummers Parade for so long, but my string band, which is the group that I'm part of, had me have to shave off my beard. Oh, why is that? Well, friends, with the Mummers Parade, we wear really cool and pretty costumes, and to go with my costume, I had to shave my beard off. Oh, well that's pretty cool. Do you have a picture of you in your Mummers costume? Well, actually I do. You want to see it, friends? Well, here it is. Yep, that's me in my costume there, Officer Joe. Oh wow, that's a really pretty costume, Mr. Al. Do you guys do anything else other than wear just those costumes? Well, I'm glad you asked. We actually play music and we dance around with those costumes on, and we put together a show for all the people of Philadelphia and for all the people on the internet. Oh, that is so cool, Mr. Al. Yeah, Officer Joe, we had a whole heck of a lot of fun that day. You know, Mr. Al, it is taking a little bit of time to make me get used to seeing you without a beard. I know, Officer Joe. I don't usually shave off my beard, but I do for the Mummers on New Year's Day. Well, your skin is so smooth. Thank you, Officer Joe, but I appreciate it. So, Mr. Al, what's going to be our first book of the new year? Well, Officer Joe, I'm glad you asked. Today, we're going to be reading a book called Bobby Knows Best, and it's written by Katherine Sully, and it's illustrated by Frank Endersby. Oh, really neat. I can't wait to read this book, and plus there's a cute little bunny on the front. Well, yeah, so in this book, the main character's name is Bobby, and he's a little bunny. And he learns a little bit the hard way that he should listen to the people around him, especially like his mom and his dad and his grandparents, because sometimes, friends, even though we think we know what's best for us, our parents and our grandparents, they usually know what's best for us even more. Yeah, I guess you're right, Mr. Al. Our parents and our grandparents, they usually know what's best for us, right? That's right, Officer Joe. Our parents and our grandparents and our aunts and uncles, they always know what's best for us. So, how about we start reading the book, and I think we're going to learn a lesson or two and have a whole heck of a lot of fun while reading this book. So, let's get reading Bobby Knows Best.
Bobby's friend Scoot came rushing to the burrow to find him.
I saw a fox, said Scoot. A real live fox.
Bobby had never seen a fox. Wow, said Bobby. What was it like?
It was,
said Scoot.
Scary.
Bobby thought Scoot was boasting.
When Scoot had gone home, Bobby went to find his mother. "Mom," he asked, "have you seen a fox?" "Oh dear me, yes," said his mother, "and I never want to see those big sharp teeth again," she added. Bobby shivered. "Stay away from foxes, Bobby," she sighed, "if you know what's good for you." Bobby went to find his dad. "Dad, have you ever seen a fox?" he asked.
"Yes, son," said his father. "A fox's big ears can hear you before you can see him. Stay away from foxes, Bobby," he warned, "if you know what's good for you." Bobby shivered. Bobby asked his grandma, "Grandma, have you ever seen a fox?" "A fox?" asked his grandmother, who was a little deaf. "I've seen a fox, all right, and I've seen his big sharp claws." Bobby shivered. "Stay away from foxes, Bobby," she advised, "if you know what's good for you." Bobby went to find his grandpa. "Have you ever seen a fox, Grandpa?" he asked.
"Oh yes, if you see a fox, lad," said Grandpa, "this is what you do. Stay very still, find the nearest hole, then thump your foot to warn the others and run for it. Now don't run in a straight line, go in a zigzag. That'll slow old Mr. Fox down all right."
Bobby shivered. That night, Bobby lay in bed. Everyone had a story about a fox except Bobby. "I've got big ears too," he thought, "and big claws and teeth. I'm not scared of a fox." So Bobby crept out of the burrow into the moonlight and set off on a fox hunt. The next morning, Bobby's mom called and called him for breakfast. She looked all around the burrow, but he wasn't there. Word soon spread around the rabbit community. No one had seen Bobby. Finally, Scoot had a suggestion.
"I've got a funny feeling," said Scoot quietly, "that he might have gone looking for a fox."
A search party was organized. Scoot was right. Bobby sat in a corner of the meadow, his ears wiggling and his nose twitching, because in the other corner of the meadow there was a fox. Now Bobby could see for himself. The fox's ears were pointier than Bobby's, the fox's teeth were sharper than Bobby's, and the fox's claws were longer than Bobby's. Now Bobby was scared. Mom had warned him to stay away from foxes, and so had Dad and Grandma. Why, oh why did he think he knew best? Just then, out of the corner of his eye, Bobby saw a familiar pair of ears. "Scoot's come to find me," thought Bobby, "and now he's in danger too." Bobby fixed his eyes on the fox and sat very still. The fox sniffed the air. More ears appeared above the grass. The rabbit search party spread themselves out across the meadow. The fox was confused, but Bobby knew what he had to do. He remembered what his grandpa had told him. Bobby spotted the nearest hole. He thumped his foot. At the signal, all the rabbits set off, running in every direction toward holes hidden around the meadow. Bobby ran for his life, zigzagging to give the others time to get away. The fox chased this way and that, but he wasn't quick enough. Bobby dashed down the nearest hole. Back at the burrow, Bobby waited for his mom and dad to scold him, but they were just happy that everyone was safe, and Grandpa even said,
"Well done, lad, you slowed Mr. Fox down all right."
Later, Scoot came over.
"You were really brave," said Scoot. "What a great fox story to tell the others."
"Yes," agreed Bobby, "but I think I'll stay away from foxes from now on. It was scary." The end. So, Officer Joe, did you enjoy that book?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed that book.
So what was your favorite part of that whole book, Officer Joe?
Well, I guess my most favorite part of the book was at the end when everyone was back home safe and sound.
Yeah, Officer Joe, that was my favorite part of the book too. Everyone was back in the burrow, safe and sound, and Bobby had learned, I guess, a lesson or two, right?
Well, yeah, in the book, didn't his mom and his dad and his grandma and his grandpa, didn't they all say, "Stay away from foxes, Bobby, if you know what's good for you"?
That's right, friends. Sometimes we go through life and we think we know what's best for ourselves and we want to do it ourselves, but a lot of times our moms, our dads, our grandparents, even our aunts and uncles, they do know what's best for us, and it's best to listen to our parents and our grandparents and our aunts and uncles.
Yeah, Mr. L, there was a couple of times when I was little that my mom and dad tried to tell me to do a couple of things, and I didn't want to do them, and I actually ended up getting hurt.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, my mom and dad, they told me not to ride my bike in the house, but I did anyway, and I crashed into a wall.
Oh geez. Officer Joe, were you okay?
Oh yeah, I just had like a little cut on my leg, but I learned my lesson. Listen to my mom and dad.
Well, Officer Joe, I'm glad you learned a valuable lesson. And friends at home, this book is a perfect example of why we should always listen to our moms and dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles, because they always know what's best for us, and they love us, and they always want what's best.
That's right. We love them and they love us.
So true, Officer Joe. So true. They always love us no matter what. So friends, thank you for joining us for another episode of Officer Joe's Storytime, and I hope you enjoyed this story. And be sure to click on that big red button down there that says subscribe to be able to see all the videos that Officer Joe and I post. So until next time, keep on reading those books, friends, and stay safe out there.
Yeah, thanks for reading, friends, and thanks for stopping by. See you next time.